Hello everyone, this is Glenn from Various Arts Media, and today we are going to take a look at the last and the third part of our gold gun. It will be texturing this gun and the background, and of course it will be the compositing, which will be done in Photoshop. So yeah, let's start it up, I guess. So okay, I have a new file here. I actually want to just show you the HDR we made, what the goal was. So I'm going to Cycles Render, going to the world settings, and I'm actually going to take the environment texture. I'm gonna open the file we actually made, the HDR, the HDR, final HDR, and PNG. And as you can see, let's delete this lamp. We will use it. You can see, oh, now it's a bit wrong, that we are living in this 3D world. Okay, that's the point of the HDR. So if we add a sphere, because now it looks very, you know, stretched, but we don't need it for the background. We actually need it for the reflection, as you can see here. So if we add this, you can see it reflects very well. So that's actually what we need right now. So yeah, let's without further ado, let's go back to our pistol and go ahead. Let's delete this lamp. Okay, just putting the background images off, screen cap on. Okay, and I'm actually gonna delete this lamp. Yeah, so this is our pistol. Let's align active camera to view, so we have a nice front view of this pistol, which we want. So we do the thing we did before. We just go into the background, we make it an environmental texture, and we are gonna open, yeah, as you can see here, let's go to the world settings. Okay, the node editor, we're going to texture, final HDR, and here we have it. Okay. I'm just gonna put the texture coordinates in it and the mapping as well. Okay. All right. So this is our background right now. Now that's not actually what we want, to be honest. I actually want like maybe some kind of icy effect. So I'm going to put the cursor to the center, and I'm gonna add a plane. I'm gonna rotate that on the x axis, and I'm going to scale that up a bit so it actually has the projection of the camera in it, as you can see right here. So yeah, let's scale that up a bit. Okay. Scale it on the x-axis. Okay. Okay, let's scale that up a bit. Scale on z and x, it's pretty easy. Okay. Yes, so now if we go to our object, we can make a new material, which we're gonna do right now. We are gonna call it ice. I'm gonna save this first. Okay. So let's do this in Node Editor, it's way easier. So as you can see, where rendered is just like a diffuse color. So let's delete that, and we are gonna put a glossy in it. Every object has glossiness, even every object. If we put the roughness to 0, you can see it's 100% reflective, but that's actually not what we need. This is a cool trick I learned actually in a tutorial online. So let's put in the texture coordinates, let's put in an image texture, and the mapping as well. Okay, so we connect the vector to vector, and we connect the generator to vector. Okay, we're gonna open some textures. So I have like an ice texture that I actually downloaded from cgtextures.com, and if we connect this to the color, you can see we can actually see our texture right on the image. Now we are gonna put this on the roughness, and you will see it does the special effect. Now what we need is actually RGB curves. We are gonna add that, okay, and look what happens now if you pull this down. It combines the reflection with the texture actually, and it makes it looks icy. So we just have to play with this a little bit to find the right angle. I kinda like this. Yeah, something like that, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Just playing around a bit with these settings. Save it. Yeah, I guess that will do just fine. Saving it again. Now, we can actually use this texture from our mapping, from our world, to rotate it. We can actually rotate it on X, Y, and Z until we find the perfect reflection for our material. As you can see, it's just, you know, trying some stuff out just to see what's the best reflection. There's too much white in this. Yeah, I kind of do like this. So play with the rotation a bit. And when you have something you like, you can just save it up. Tweak maybe the settings a bit more, that you have the background you actually want to. I chose a very flat background because I actually need it for the compositing in Photoshop. Right, save it up and let's texture the pistol, I guess. We're gonna split this window. One is gonna be the node editor, as it is on right now, and the other one is gonna be the UV image editor. So I'm just going to open up the texture that I'm gonna use, which will be this one. Okay, I'm actually gonna use this. Yeah, you see this line? We actually have to delete this line. So let's just open it up. Yeah, let's crop that a bit. Okay. We're gonna select everything and make the height of the new document around, I don't know, 1200 or something. Okay, so if we paste this right now, we duplicate this layer to the untitled one. Okay, we're gonna put it down. We duplicated this, and now we flip vertical. So that means that the top side, if the top side touches the bottom side, if you like put it in a sphere or a circle, it will touch and it will have a smooth transition. So I'm gonna do this very easily. Just put a gradient tool right here, stretch it up. Maybe I should do it on the right side. Okay, let's start from the bottom, go up. Just a bit of tweaking, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the brush tool right here. Make a little bit of a big brush. Okay, something like that. I'm gonna paint it white. Okay, so we have something pretty decent. Okay, this looks okay. It's just, we don't need like a perfect texture because the compositing will do a lot. We're gonna save this as a PNG under our textures, and I'm gonna call it texture for the gun. Put it on none fast, and we can close Photoshop again. Okay, so now we close this up and we open the new one, which will be the texture for gun we just made. Okay, it's not perfect, but we don't need it to be perfect, to be honest. What we actually need for the snow in this gun is like a lot of, you know, difference in the colors of the black and the white and gray, and that's actually what we have right here. I'll show you later why. So the first thing we are going to do is add a mix shader. Alright, next what we are going to do is add a glossy shader, and we are going to combine these. Okay, so I'm just doing the first part right here. On the left you can see it's white. Okay, so let's add image texture. Okay, so I added the image texture, and I'm gonna use a texture coordinate with this. I'll put it on generated for now, and I'll connect the color to the color. And if you go to render mode, okay, this is looking a bit weird. Let's open up the texture maybe. Okay, here we go. But this is looking a little bit weird because it's stretched. That's because it's generated. It's not UV unwrapped or connected to the object. So first thing we're going to do is copy this, and this is actually going to be our factor as well. Okay. Yeah, let's rename this. Yeah, I should have actually renamed. I didn't rename any of them. I should have done that. That was my mistake. So I'm actually gonna UV unwrap that. So I go to solid. I go to edit mode. Yeah, I'll just put on the screen cascade so you guys can see what I'm doing right here. Okay, I'm just going to edit mode right now, and I'm gonna press U and Smart UV Project. And as you can see, it just shows the UV unwrapping in our UV editor. So if we render it now, this is looking, yeah, a little bit better. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is actually add a bump map. You can, like I said it actually before, the bump map is actually going to make like a shadow and make the 3D elements, but in the in the image itself, it won't be in 3D space. So let's connect these normals to the diffuse and to the glossiness. And if we zoom in right here, you can see that it actually makes some depth in it. We should change the value a little bit. Okay. You can play around with the colors. I'm gonna put this to black. Yeah, this is starting to look pretty nice. You can actually just disconnect those to make this black as well. And I'm actually kind of liking this. Maybe, yeah, let's play around with the settings a bit. Now we'll use the depth of the bump map will be a little bit blacker, a little bit more black than the original diffuse we have on this gun. Now we don't need this texture and this texturing of the gun to be precise, because the snow will overlap actually everything we do in the compositing. So this is just to make like these little differences in the gun that will make the snow look a bit different and not like flat on the image. Okay. So yeah. Next thing I'm gonna do is just take the next part of the gun. I'm gonna press 2 because I want it to be a different material, and I'm gonna just call it gun part 2. I'm gonna search which part it is. I didn't rename it. I should have renamed it, to be honest. So okay, I'm gonna just change that name to gun part 2. Okay, and then we just, if we render this out, this will look, let me check it out. Oh yeah, you can't see anything on here. And why is that? Because we have the UV wrap of the other part of the pistol. So we just go to edit mode, we press U, smart UV wrap, press OK. And yeah, we can tweak this a little bit, you know, move up so it looks a bit better. But we don't actually have to do that because, like I said, the compositing is going to do it a lot for us. So we just change these objects for the UV to gun part 2. Okay, and as you can see, it has some depth in it here now as well. Okay. You know, change the names of your parts and just change these UV textures and everything will be fine. Okay guys, so I just finished this for the whole part. Now the last part you see right here, I actually changed everything to a layer weight instead of the texture because it gave a better effect. But on this last part, we want this to have grooves, you know, like grooves in it. So I actually added this image texture to it, which I will show you right here. Texture, yeah. I actually used this one, which you can download from CG Textures as well. And I imported this. I edit some setting, put the strength to 100. I put it into height, back to all the normals, and disconnected the diffuse and the color to the color. The color to the factor, I'm sorry. And then you have like this smooth effect. Now this isn't really in 3D. This is actually this is actually the image that projects the shadows and the 3D into the image itself. Okay, now we have one last thing to do. So as you can see here, those are the pictures. We have like this USB tactical written on it. So let's do this one fast. We go to a new layer. We just add a text, Shift A text. We press tab and we call it USB tactical. We rotate that on the X-axis. We go to text and let's, oh sorry, it's not offset, it's extrude it to 0.1. Okay, let's move this to the first layer. And let's just make this a little bit smaller. Yeah, something like that, I guess. Move it up. And move it on the Z. Yeah, move it on the Z until it's like in the image like this. Okay, this looks pretty good. And this can actually be we are gonna make a material for this. Okay. Always put the glossy every time. Let's make them dark. Okay, and put the factor to 0.1. Yeah, it just looks just fine for what we need. Okay. Is there anything else? Let me just check. Yeah, right here we have this red little dot, so let's just add this. Just go to the solid view, and let's just, you know, let's add a UV sphere. Let's put this to, I don't know, something like 24. Put it on smooth, make it a little bit smaller, move it up to exactly where you want it. Okay, this could be smaller, to be honest. Okay, something like that. And we are actually gonna just put it, let's make it easy to ourselves. Just put the emission on it, put it on red. Okay, let's render it. See what this gives us. With Ctrl B you can render a certain selection. Let's put it up a bit, the strength. Okay, it doesn't really give much of a... maybe a bit brighter, I guess. Yeah. Strength on 1. Okay. This is actually okay. Ctrl Shift B to delete the selection. And this is our pistol. So, yeah, I think this is actually looking pretty good. I think there's nothing else we should edit right now. Okay. Let me check it out. Okay, let's save it up. Close these windows. Let's go to the render settings. So what do we want to change? We want this to be at 100%. We want, yeah, 1920 to 1080 for dimensions. For sampling, we want it to be, this is an easy render. Let's do 800 maybe, 800 samples. Okay, I don't think we need to. Let me check it out. Nah, we don't need to change this. Yeah, you can click the progressive rendering, then it's gonna do like you have in the preview. You see everything while it renders 800 times. Now it's just gonna do little parts 800 times, like you will see right now. So if you press render, it will start yeah, rendering. This is gonna take a while though, so I'll just fast forward this. Here we have our finished render. It's not that great actually, but it doesn't need to be, because we can do a lot in compositing, right? And that's actually where I'm gonna go to add the snow effect on it, because that's what we actually want. Yeah, we're gonna open our render, which we saved. Okay, and this is it. I already made 2 of those adjustments. I'm just gonna duplicate them right now, but I'll show you how I added them, because I like those. Okay, so I just added a new one, and I edited it here, and here you can see the effects I actually added. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is actually to go to select color range, and we're going to select the background, make the fuzziness a little bit lower, and now it's going to select. Just go to edit, fill, choose white for contents. Okay, press OK, and it makes it white. So this is the beginning of our snow effect. Okay, let's just select our layer again, make a new layer. Do it again, select color range, and pick up some different parts. Yeah, this time I'm gonna take the upper part and press OK. Edit, fill, white, OK. Now if we combine those two, we have a white background. I kind of like it. Okay, next thing we're gonna do, make a new layer, and we are actually going to select color range. Oh, yeah, we're gonna select our gun, make the fuzziness a little bit lower, and let's pick the new layer, edit, fill, and here we have our first snow effect. Now it does look okay, it's not that fantastic, so let's I tried putting the opacity down, but that doesn't give that great an effect. So make a new layer, select color range, and let's pick, you know, a different part, maybe the upper barrel, put the fuzziness on, edit, fill, sorry, picking the new layer, okay, and I kind of like this one. So yeah, we can combine those. Nah, it's a bit too much, I guess. Let's just pick the upper part and delete the other one. This is just a little bit of trying out, but it's the same principle all over again. I'm just gonna save this real quick. Okay. This looks fine. Yeah, now this looks a little bit too sharp, so let's add a blur to it. 0.2, yeah. 0.3 maybe. Yeah, 0.2 will do, I guess. And let's do this on the other one, otherwise it's too sharp. Okay, this is actually looking fine. Just gonna add some text. Okay. Let's call it Gold Gun. You can choose the name. Just gonna pick Gold Gun. Put the size on around 200. Put it on white. Move it up a bit. Yeah, make it bigger. With Control T, by the way. Just some, you know, finding some stuff I like. Just add a new line. D and X to pick black and white, or white or black for the first color and the second color. And let's zoom in and just put it a little bit smaller. This line. Could be, yeah, maybe a little bit more smaller. Something like this will do. Okay. Put Gold Gun right there. You can change the opacity to around 50. I should actually name my layers, but I'm too lazy to do that right now. I'm gonna save this. This is the final render, so I hope you guys liked this tutorial. And I hope you learned something from it. That's the most important part. This is really for beginners, and you know, even I am just trying some stuff out. But I hope you guys can learn something from it, and maybe the result will be better than my result. Let's hope so. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.